Hey guys, this is Always Improving and I'm back with another video. Today's video is going to be an overview of my first week of Inktober. I've never actually participated in Inktober before, so this will be really fun experience for me. So the first prompt is ring. So I first sketched out kind of a proposal and stuff, but then I moved on to hula hoop, and I eventually decided on doing just a lady hula hooping. I liked how I used motion in this one. In my sketch you can see how her shirt is kind of going off to one side and her hips are off center. I think it really emphasized her motion. And it was a really interesting experience because I don't ink a lot. I don't use a lot of ink, so it's interesting. Also, I usually do color in my drawings, so it was a little bit different, and it took some getting used to. But it wasn't that bad, and I think it turned out pretty good. So in this first drawing, you can kind of see how I don't know how to do the hat shading very well. I think throughout this challenge I will get better at that, and I was a little bit unsure of myself also because I didn't know exactly if I should make all the lines going one way or not, but I think it turned out pretty good. For this next drawing, the prompt was mindless. So I took it as you're kind of not paying attention, and I wanted to draw someone falling over or tripping over something. So yeah, I ended up with someone kind of off balance, about to fall over. And in this drawing as well, I used the shirt kind of pushing forward so you know she's falling. I tried to give her a shocked expression, but I think in my final draft, I didn't emphasize her tilt forward enough. So I kind of used, again, her shirt, and I did eventually kind of use her hair as kind of like an overarching like twist. You can tell her body is moving forward and the inertia's brushing her hair back and stuff. So I tried to do that. Also, I think I really did well inking her hands in this drawing. I'm about to do so, yes. They look great in the finished product, so I was really happy about that. But yeah, again, the hat shading in this isn't great, but I do think the second drawing also turned out pretty good. It's one of my favorites. So the third drawing, the prompt was bait, but I decided to do it on Procreate instead on my iPad and see how it turned out. So I decided to draw a fisherwoman, I guess, is how you would say that. I wasn't really sure what to do because like bait, I was thinking fishing hooks, fishing things. So I decided to sketch out a lady who has a fishing rod in her hand, and I do think that this one, I think with the iPad it's better because I can erase, and so I'm more comfortable with it, but I also want to push myself to use ink for this since it is like Inktober challenge, you know. But I think it was nice to just kind of relax a bit and just draw on my iPad. I think that this drawing, it was a little bit difficult because I wanted to make her like in a flannel, right? But it kind of looked a little too businessy. I think I worked it out in the end with fixing her collar a couple times, and I liked how the plaid shirt turned out. So I was pretty happy with this one overall. So this next one is my least favorite in how it turned out. But my sketches started out good. I was thinking, yes, so this is the prompt for this one was build, and I really couldn't think of anything. I was kind of stuck. But I decided to go for a toddler building out of building blocks. I didn't really know what else to do. But yeah, I inked it out, and in the end, I just think it didn't really look like a toddler. I feel like it looked too old and didn't really look like a young kid. So, I don't know. It's not my favorite, but I did it, and I tried the challenge. Not all my pieces are going to turn out great, so yeah. So you might have noticed I skipped a day. Technically, I skipped day 4. The prompt was freeze, and I decided to do it kind of in a joint drawing with Husky. I wasn't attempting to do this at first, but I thought once I sketched this out, this girl who's kind of like a shocked expression or scared or whatever, I thought it would be a good idea to do her on one side and the husky attacking her on the other. And so that's what I ended up doing. You can see I sketched out her first and then sketched her out on the final piece of paper as well first, and then I'm going to go back and sketch a husky. So I've never actually drawn dogs before, so I had to look up a few references. I don't think it turned out perfect, but I think it was a fun experience. I do think the picture on the left, the one I did for freeze, because she's like kind of shocked, I think it turned out well, and I kind of liked how I did the shading in this one. The hat shading really worked out, and I tried to do all vertical lines for her hair and then all horizontal lines for her skin, and I think it added a good contrast between the two until you were able to see exactly what was what. I think it made the image a bit clearer, and so I really liked how this one turned out as well. So my final prompt was enchanted, and of course, I don't know why, I really like to draw witches, so that's what I went with. And I decided to do a witch kind of pointing her wand at the camera, at the viewer, so she's just kind of standing there looking like she could put a spell on you, I guess. But I really liked how this one turned out. I also used my iPad for this one, you can tell, and I really enjoyed using Procreate more. I think because I was able to like erase and get a good like mid-tone. I wasn't able to do that on paper because I would have to use black or I could just leave it white. It wasn't as though I could make a mid-tone. But yeah, I think that's why I kind of enjoyed this one more than the others. But overall, I really liked all of these videos, and I hoped that you enjoyed watching me create all of these pieces for Inktober, and I hope you'll join me for next week's video too. So, see you next time. Bye!